Okay, we're going to be working on the Japanese gourd background, and also I have the word love in one of them here. So we're going to show you how to do the background, and then also we're going to put the love in it as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by warming up our piece so that our wax goes on nice and even. And I start on the outside and move it to the middle because the middle gets warm faster than the outside. Get that nice and warm. And I've got my stipple brush warming up in my red. So we're just going to start applying that. And you see how when it's warmed up, it just goes on nice and even coat. And we don't have to warm it up afterwards. So that's really, really nice. And we're just going to bring that all the way across. Make sure you've got it, not missing any on the edges. Okay, now we have to let this cool, and what we're going to be using to put the background in is our texture brush and insert. And if you're not familiar with them, there's also a video that shows you how to use a texture brush and insert, and you want to put this metal piece into your melting pot. When your melting pot is empty, there is no wax in there, just simply set it on top. Now I've already had one set on top, and I'm going to take my crayon and I'm just going to go lightly across the top. If you want more wax, then you put more on there, but we don't want a lot of wax today. And I'm going to warm up my brush just a tad. Now it's real important that this piece is really cooled off before we do this. Not even warm to the touch. So we are not there yet. Another thing that I did with these pieces that you could do after you were done, you could add, this one had just a little bit of metallic crayon still in the black, so it had a little bit of glitter in it. So you could do a little bit of glitter with the black, or you could do a little bit of splatter over the top, either with the gold metallic or a silver metallic would just be neat with that as well. So you have those options too. So let's try this. He may be cool enough. Now we do not want much wax on here at all, so we're even going to take a lot of it off on our paper towel, and we want to pull that, and I didn't get a good grip on that right there, just a little bit. And less is better, and I probably would like a little bit less than what I even had here, but we're going to go ahead and try that. If we don't like it, we're going to take it back off. We're just going to melt it so that it is melted into the background with our red. And we don't want to move it around much, we just want to melt it. Okay, so we have that, and we get this really cool looking background. And like I said, I would have liked to have done a little bit less than what I ended up with, but we're going to go ahead and try that. And if you need help writing the word love or thing, you can also look it up on the computer as well. And I don't know if that's going to really show up. And we also can, if you can't find it, email me and I'll send you a little thing with that. Or if you're getting the kit, we'll put that in the kit so you can kind of look at the symbol and do it as well. And I really don't think that's going to show up. I'm going to take it off. And that's one thing I try to tell you in each of these videos. And this is a really cool background. There's, I mean, just so many things that you could do and just leave it. There's so many neat things that you can do. But I want you to know that if you don't like something, that you can remove it. So that's why I do that as well. So we're going to start again from the top. Put on our wax, get it nice and even. Okay, then we're going to let it dry again, and we're going to try one more time. And while that's drying, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. I'm going to probably use my #1 tool, or my 0 tool, the smaller end. And I am going to probably start with this one here and then bring it down. You have 2 here. You're going to reload each time. And if you need on these smaller ones to go to your 0, go to your 0 and put all of that in to get that saying in there. And so you have that nice like you would like it. Now we're still a little bit warm. I'm going to let that cool off for just a second. We'll come right back. Alright, it's cool enough, so we're going to wipe a little bit of that off of here and make sure that you can slide that. We don't want to, and we're going to do both directions, so do some up and some down, and we're going to slide across that. And I do have that going much lighter this time, so I like that a lot better. So we're going to go back and warm it up again. And another suggestion was to use the yellow instead of the black if you got it too black with the writing, or white. You can do that as well, but I wanted to keep it with just the 2 colors. And we're just going to heat that right till it's all heated. Perfect. So we're going to let this cool. And then again, we're going to work on our lettering here. And I decided to go with my #1 tool, the small end. And if this is your first time using a Miriam Joy tool, there is a great video on the basics on my website at miriamjoy.com that just kind of shows you all of that kind of thing. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to do this one up on top. And then I'm going to do the little one there. I'm going to do the little, and you could switch to the smaller tool to do those little smaller strokes if you want to as well. And I'm sure mine isn't perfect, but it kind of gives it that look. And I might even go to the 0 tool to put these on. And this one comes this way. And then we have the 3 little strokes up here, and I'm going to try to get them with one load. I don't tell you or recommend you to do that, but we're going to kind of do that. And I think that looks kind of oriental enough. If you want to be more precise, you can go, like I said, online and look at different things like that as well, just to kind of give you the general idea behind it. So, and like this other piece, so you can do just your background with that, so don't feel that you can't just do that. Okay, now that this has cooled off a little bit here, we're going to go ahead and remove our sides with our hobby knife. And you want to remove all the wax. You don't want any wax on the sides, because we're not going to seal this part, and you need this for your leather strap. This is a little bit thinner piece than I would normally work with, just to kind of let you know. So we need it thick enough that we can do a nice clean edge with. And then once we have that, I want you to come back in, and I want you to kind of go all the way around the edge on the sides, so that we can get a nice clean seal with our finish. You're coming in just a little bit so so that we make sure that we get all of that nicely sealed. Okay, so we're going to use our Mod Podge Dimensional Magic, and this is what I use when I seal it. Make sure you have everything off the top. This is a really good finish for what we're working with, and this is the one that I use and we also carry. It's made to go on thick. Now, we can't just pour it on and leave it because it drips off the sides, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to start by going around the edges, just inside a little bit. And we're going to take our brush, an old brush, and it is water-based, so we can clean it up with our water. And see, it came off that side over here. And we want to go all the way around the edge. And what I want to make sure that I do is go not on all of the sides, but just enough so that we know we have a seal. We don't want to seal the sides, just other than covering up that wax completely. When we're done with that, we're going to come in here, put some more in the middle, and with our brush, we're just going to lightly move it around. We're not really brushing it, we're just kind of laying it across. If you can see your brush strokes after it kind of settles for just a couple seconds, you're putting it on too light. It's better to have it too heavy than too light. And just come in here and just do that. Now, it's not good to overwork it. Leave that alone. We want to apply at least 3 to 5 coats of thick finish. And if it's something that's going to be worn in the sun, I do suggest that you test it. And after this dries and you get your other coats on, come on back and we're going to finish up our necklace.